Hey, what's up? Kalen here. Welcome to the live stream. I had two topics for today. The first one was I had somebody ask, how did you get into Magento? So I thought I would share that story real quick. So I had been working for the man. Now, I was working as a project manager, actually. Well, back up a little bit. I was doing freelance PHP development. That was going well. And then I started subcontracting. And then that didn't go as well. I kind of bit off more than I could chew with a big project. Subcontracting was complicated, crashed and burned. And then I went and I got a job as a project manager. And then, that was difficult for different reasons and stuff like that. And then at some point I was like, I want to get back into being a developer, but was hard to do because I didn't feel like I was like the smart guy in the room anymore. When you're in a room full of developers and stuff, I was like the dumb PM kind of a thing. And so I kind of lost some of my confidence. And the other trend there was that I really wanted to specialize in a specific platform because, at that time I was in a company in a context where we were doing so many different things. Like one week you're building like a custom social network, and the next you're doing like a Facebook app or something like that. And then I was like, I want to do something, and there was all these funny like Facebook apps, and social credit things that people were doing. I was like, I want to do something that's like economically is like close to the money, and like e-commerce seemed like a smart move. And I very intentionally like looked at different platforms, and I was like, I really want to specialize in a platform. So I looked at Magento, I looked at like OS Commerce and ZenCart. It was pretty close to going with those platforms because the learning curve Magento was brutal. But I was like, ultimately I was like, no, the ecosystem in the market is really strong, so I really want to go for it. So I jumped in and spent like 20 hours trying to figure out how to put a button on a page. I had to like get Alan Storm's book on it and stuff, and layouts, no frills layouts. And anyways, I jumped into that, picked up like a freelance project doing a payment gateway. And then I got my first job with Sweet Tooth, big loyalty extension, and now Smile.io, rebranded. Anyways, and the rest is history. From there, I just jumped into Stack Overflow and Twitter, and then I started going to conferences and meeting people that I knew from Twitter. And yeah, the rest is history. Next topic. So I've been talking a little bit about hiring. A lot of companies want to hire US based developers. There's a ton of demand for US based developers within a certain salary range. And I did some content recently on this related to like why shouldn't, if there's a developer that's just as good in another location, why shouldn't the client hire them? And this is actually something I think I try to advocate for quite a bit because I think there's so much value in hiring remotely. And I had one client that was really looking to just hire within the U.S. And I said, hey, here's a candidate that's in Latin America, great English, great everything, seems like a great fit. And, even visa-wise has some ability to do some short-term. There's all sorts of different visas. I don't know that much about all of them, but I try to pick up little bits and pieces as I go. And some visas are easier and friendly. Some people might have permission to go to the U.S. for 6 months at a time or whatever. And so those types of things can help because you can get some on-site time as an employer. So I recommended this, and it looks like it might work out. And I like to try to recommend, things like that. But, clients do have questions about like, what are the legal implications? What are the tax implications? And, if those are things you're trying to figure out, obviously, you need to talk to your lawyer and tax professional for official advice. It's one of those areas where, depending on who you ask, it could be extremely complicated or it could be extremely simple. Some people, they just go for it. They hire people off outside the country, pay them as contractors. I haven't really generally ever heard of there being a problem there. I'm sure that, technically there are laws on the books about different things that you're supposed to do there, and so you want to look into those things and cross your T's and dot your I's. Different people approach it differently. But yeah, that's definitely something that people, do want to figure out, and something that, I want to address. Also, you can pay through Commerce Hero if that simplifies things for you and whatnot. So anyways, that's all I got for you today. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you very soon.